buddy, he needs his
Clapper.
clapper.
Clap on.
Hello, Dental World. This is Tommy with 26L Dental Builders. Here for two reasons. One, to bring you some informative content on dental construction. We hope it's informative. The second is this is a way for us to decompress.
Yes. So
We see a lot of things on the road and a lot of stuff. Go ahead.
make sure and follow us. Subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Our handle is at 26L Dental Builders.
So who are we? We are a dental construction company. We're dental management. Whoa, a little bit. We had a lot of lemonade.
What's wrong with that little lemonade you got there, Thomas?
Okay, well, let's go back. I couldn't tell you where the sound effect is for that.
Clap it again.
Right? Clap it again. Let me see. Hold on. Whoops. Okay, so we're a construction management company. We manage construction for the dentists all over the U.S. And we got started, been in construction for years. Worked for a family company for 20 years. Had a family tragedy. Decided I wanted to do something different. Went to work for a DSO, and that's how the journey started. Met Chris there, and I've known Buddy for a long time. So we have.
Oh my God, he called you Chris.
Whoa.
His name is John.
Okay. I met John at the DSO a long time ago.
I know they're both architects, but this is John.
Hello.
I've known Albert since middle school, and I've known you for a long time too.
Since high school.
Since high school.
Since high school.
Yeah. Thanks for the algebra homework. By the way, I don't know if I ever said that. So.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today? Today we're talking about John's stuff.
Design.
Yes.
Scary.
I got a space, 2,500 square feet, and I went 10 ops.
We can do it.
We can do it.
We can do it. You won't have a restroom. You won't have a break room. You won't have a sterilization.
Put 20 in there if you want.
But we could fit 10, 20 ops in there.
Are you rubbing that, what is it, that genie again?
Oh, yeah, the lamp.
The lamp?
Yeah.
Stupid lamp.
Depends on the genie, I guess. You know. Nicer lamps than others.
So walk us through the design.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is all
Design
you, John.
process.
This is
Okay.
all you. I know you have to have a CAD file,
Yes.
as-built information,
Uh-huh.
and then that's when you go in.
Right. No, that's great. I mean, we can call that.
Somebody's
Knee
a little
slapper.
angry.
Knee slapper.
Was that the clapper? Was it? Erica can't hear it, so she doesn't know what happened.
There you go.
Okay.
That's great. You
Back
know.
to design. Back to design.
Once you
Focus, people. Focus.
turn the cameras off and turn them back on. We might need a little reset. That's great information. Yes. Once you obtain your CAD file as build information, we can then, hopefully start the process or the design process as accurately as possible. What we like to do is actually go on site and confirm measurements, because even though you might have a CAD file that's provided from either your real estate agent or landlord, there have been remodels since then, and other critical dimensions need to be confirmed, especially when there is a lot of money that goes into equipment and where it's going to line up and how many ops you're going to have. So that's a starting point, right? So once you have those, what we call pre-design elements, we can then begin our, formal design phase, right?
Yeah, you got to fit the dental equipment's got specific parameters, the IT,
Right.
all your casework and.
So by defining our limitations initially in the beginning of the process, we then can minimize any sort of unforeseens in the process as far as design and how that translates into in the field measurements. Comparing CAD files and design and then translating that into the actual physical in the field. There might be small adjustments or, and depending on how accurate your pre-design information is, maybe there's a column in the middle of your floor plan, and
Yeah.
will a nightmare situation cause a redesign, and losing time and of course money because of
Yeah,
that. So
I think that's where a Matterport scan helps. Have you ever
absolutely.
Have you ever come across that, Mr. Contractor, where you get a set of plans and it says we got to take this wall and this out right here, and then you open that wall out and there's a column and you're like, You're looking at the plans, you're looking at the column, you're looking at the plans and saying that column was not factored in these drawings.
It's in the middle of the hallway.
Every time.
Every time, man. Every time,
100% of the time.
100% of the time.
100%, man. You get plans, you're like, dude, that's. But
Has this dude even been out here? These guys know what they're even looking at?
Exactly.
I almost lost
No.
my headphones. And he said,
Which
I don't know how many times I've heard that
I know.
from people when they like, has this guy even come out here? You know?
which falls back to like construction meetings, having the
Yeah.
initial construction meeting,
That's
finding out
perfect.
exactly what
Yeah.
is what you're working with.
And for the actual architect to be at the construction meeting.
Exactly.
Or
Yeah.
yeah.
Because
Exactly.
that doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
No.
Well, at the pre-design, I mean, when we're on site, we don't need an architect there. I mean,
Right. No. This is all pre-design or
Yeah,
design.
this is all the design
Right.
work. Yeah, when you're talking with the contractor, the architect, the designer, and they're all there, looking through that. I mean,
And-
boots there. I mean,
And just to clear that up too, as far as the design portion of it, right? We're specialized in the way a dental practice should
Mhm.
function, should look,
Mhm.
how much production we should have out of a certain amount of square footage, right?
yeah.
So in a way, we because of course we're in all 50 states, right?
Yeah.
In order for that to translate into stampable and permittable plans,
Mhm.
we do the design for, or how do you say it, like the main layout or main portion of the design. That way, when you do hand it over to your GC
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
your local architect to get stamped locally because
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
codes, ADA,
Yeah.
and so forth, that takes a lot of the work out of the way for that local architect or whoever may not be specialized in dental design
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
then translate into engineering and all that.
Yeah.
And speaking of dental design, what's the formula that most dentists that like to do?
You told us that the other day. We were talking. I think you put a TikTok on it. It was
Mhm.
a certain percentage
For
of
your
like
ROI.
2,000 or 2,500 square feet or base, whatever it is like the percentage.
Roughly, based off of that 2,000 square feet, we want at least 30% dedicated just to production.
To production. Yeah.
Of course, there's a large percentage that people don't realize that goes to hallways or lobby
Yeah.
spaces. Of course, restrooms and stuff
Lab
that are
sterilization,
yeah
yeah.
that have
that's,
to be ADA compliant.
awesome. Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. It's
and
not like an
fit-
airplane,
and
right?
Yeah,
fit-
no.
and fitting all the equipment that's necessary for however many ops you're gonna have. So
Yeah.
we try and stay close to that, if not more. You
Yeah.
know,
30%. Yeah. Yeah, which is roughly, like 2,000 square feet is roughly like 5-6 ops. Something
Yep.
Like that.
Depending on how big you want your break room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people
or
want a
private
huge
restroom.
break
should
room
should be
and-
6 ops easy, right?
Should be, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I mean,
with options of a seventh
yeah.
to,
So
to grow into.
base out design, which you do all the time, and you're following a certain formula, for efficiencies and stuff when you're doing that. And like you were saying before, like it goes to wherever you're designing it for whatever part of the U.S. When the local guy takes it over to with the license to stamp it and seal it, they're putting parameters in there for the West Coast for seismic activity, right?
Right.
Right? Not really hurricanes, but sometimes, right? I mean, on the East Coast or down in the Gulf, right? Yeah, that's like, hurricane activity, right? You got that kind of stuff. In the Midwest, right? Tornadoes,
Yep.
those natural disasters. You got, all those, you got different things that they're going to
different
include
parameters.
yeah, different things that they got to put in the meat code because of natural, natural disasters.
Or some
right?
cities, the lighting package, lighting
Oh, the
control.
comm check, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Las Vegas, right?
Yep.
There's not enough electricity out there, but freaking people are moving out there like crazy. So you have
And
the
buying
comm
electric
check.
cars.
Yeah.
Or you should beep that. Buy an electric car. No, the electric car.
What kind of car? There.
That's another podcast altogether.
That's all. Oh my god, I know. That's an after hours podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have those kind of things, right? I mean, that there's natural disasters, things that you can put in ahead of time and stuff, but then the license guy will add all that.
Exactly. Yeah. As long as they're following,
If you're following the dental specific,
right.
those guys are putting all the boring stuff
Exactly.
in.
They're filling in the blanks or adjusting where it needs to be to fit certain
Yeah.
building codes and wall types or flooring type, whatever it may be.
And Albert's gotta but get all that implemented and built.
Correct.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
How
know,
important are renderings?
well, that too. I mean, as we're creating that floor plan, you know, based on how many ops you're gonna have, we're creating an efficient floor plan. Hopefully, right?
Yeah.
As much allowance as possible as we have on our creative side, with
Well,
hopefully our clientele trusting our
yeah.
expertise.
Mhm.
Um, you know, being able to show them visuals
Yeah.
as far as 3D, it's a game changer. As it's
Mhm.
very hard for someone that's not used to construction or with the construction knowledge, how to visually
Right.
visualize a 2D drawing.
I'm a
Yeah.
visual person. I need to see it.
Sure. And that makes it easier for
Yeah.
our clientele to be able to visualize conceptually what can be there, what design elements we can add, where the GC might be able to value engineer certain areas for building costs, right? But still, make it where it's middle of the road. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Not too much cost, but aesthetically
Aesthetic
looks
pleasing.
nice.
I think 3D renderings are a freaking must, and we've worked with some designers, that provide those, and I know they're an upcharge, but man, I really think they're worth it.
It's like a selling point.
And it's something that we'll send to the contractors, like, hey, this is what it's supposed to look like. They're like, oh shoot, we missed a whole
Where
bunch
does
of
your
stuff.
Matterport come in on that part?
So the Matterport comes in at the as-built information. So when we come in, so we use it for. There's a couple of those reasons, and I'm glad you asked that question. A little plug here.
Right,
So
yeah, that's
when
great.
we use the
That's why I'm here.
that's why he's here, right? So when we use the Matterport, so say somebody's going to do a startup, right? John's like, I need I need as-built information,
CAD file.
and I need a CAD file from that, whether it be John or any one of the other designers that we get hired to do that for. And so we'll go out to the space, right?
Yep.
Take some measurements, put the Matterport out there, and it scans the entire space within a 16th of an inch, less than a 16th of an inch. I mean, freaking accurate.
Yep.
John gets a CAD file created based off of that information, and then either he uses it or he sends it off to some of the other designers we work with, and they put something together based off of that CAD file that John creates. And when, say, like John's putting something together in design, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I need to," I think I remember seeing something there because he's just checking and verifying things, right? Maybe there's a window, right? An operator is going to end up in a window. He wants to know exactly where that window is. He might have it on his CAD, his drawing, but he wants to verify, like, is there any fudge room or anything there? Is there any voids, right? When you're looking at the Matterport, the dollhouse, it shows you voids, it shows you columns, so he knows where those are.
Or it sometimes too, like an existing wall is not exactly at a 90-degree angle, and there is a little bit of
Big man.
an angle to that, and that's why we rely so much on
Yeah.
contractors that are eyes on the ground, pretty much. Yet we may have been there to initially scan the
Yep.
office, but once their design process starts taking place, whether it's myself or someone else,
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
try and mitigate those errors as much as possible.
Yeah.
And we know
Yeah.
there's unforeseens that happen, and
When we see it in the Matterport, because it comes up on the dollhouse, we see like, hey, there's a void, there's something there,
right.
and sometimes we'll go back and look in there if we can. If not, if it's
And it's
like,
usually a column.
it's usually a column. Usually always our big like a vault or something
Yeah.
that nobody knew about.
Crazy
mechanical
things we've
Crazy
seen.
things,
or
right? I
something.
mean,
Yeah.
so we get that Matterport scan, and they use them, and we also use it for, like, say you have multiple practices, and if you want to use it for insurance purposes, we'll go out and scan the office for you, so that way, if there's any kind of disaster, fire, flood,
Hurricanes.
hurricane, tornado, car driving through inside your
Yeah.
thing, or whatever, they'll use that for insurance purposes. Say like, hey, this is the way the office looked like before whatever happened. And so the insurance is like, there's no refuting that, man. They have that data, they have that thing. It's timestamped, so they know like, okay, well, we'll or sometimes they want to remodel the office periodically, and they're like, I forgot what that office looked like. Pull it up. We need to go and refresh all of our offices. They'll pull up those individual files to see what they look like
For the DSOs, yeah.
for the DSOs, which we do some of that for them, and it makes a difference because they have it. And they also have it documented for their insurance purposes also. Because
Right.
somebody might say, is that office sprinkled? And you call the front office, they'll call their front desk like, hey, is there sprinkler heads in there? They're like, what does that look like? They don't know, and so they can just check and verify themselves. So the Matterport is really
A key part of your service that you provide.
It is, and we use it, quite a bit, and verify things quite a bit.
And it's also helpful when they're bidding. I'll send them the link to
Oh yeah, so I like
the
that.
space.
I like that during the bidding process. If we happen to have a Matterport of that, we'll send them that link so they can see what it looks like now, opposed to what it looked like, and then John sends them a rendering of what it's supposed to look like. Then there's really an oh shit moment because then they're like, okay, it's gonna go from this, to the drawings, to the 2D drawings, to the 3D, rendering, and then they capture some of that stuff because John will put a tremendous amount of detail in there.
Too much.
Finishes, elevations, right? And then he'll, can set a.
But that's what
3D
sets him
rendering.
apart.
Yeah, yeah. And so it trying to really spill, a clear picture during the design process. But my hat's off to any designers out there, all you guys, because you guys go through the ringer with these things, man. I mean,
Revision number 201.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I got to build these things that they do. I know. I know.
I have to build this stuff.
We've had this conversation like, who in the hell drew this? Right?
What were they smoking at the time?
There's times where, you would think that, an 81-year-old woman is like the most sweetest person in the world, right?
Yeah.
When you first meet them, yeah. When something is going wrong, especially during the design or construction process,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, you do not want to be on their bad side.
No.
So it's like the initial brunt that you're taking. You know what I mean? The first blows that you're taking, but by the time it gets to you guys, they're even more mad.
Exactly.
No, I like when John says,
100% true.
It is.
I like when John says, well, I think that. I'm like, don't think, John. Just do what they want.
Yeah.
No, but it doesn't look. I'm like, don't.
No, they already have a bad taste in their mouth by the time it gets to us, and we're catching all the backlash.
We're on a lot of calls.
Yeah.
On design, and I've seen what John goes through when he's doing one. I've seen a bunch of guys. I've seen what they do, and what they go through on their stuff. And man, you guys have patience mile long, man. I mean, I've seen that, but I understand. We understand. It's a $500,000 office, $750,000 office. You want it to be perfect. You guys work in a matter of millimeters or centimeters, right? Where we work in a matter of inches and feet, right? Yeah, there's a formula behind it, John, right?
There is, and at the end of the day, we're here to make the dentist happy, and
That's right.
Make dreams come true.
That's exactly what
right.
What our clients will get every time is exactly what they want.
The clients
we
come
can,
true. The contractors not so much.
I mean, we can make the best recommendations, and of course, give recommendations on best practices or design decisions. But at the end of the day, it is your office, and we're here just to help you along the way to be successful as quickly as possible.
Experts in our field, we scream the answers, but you make the decision.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, so, and we're here to serve, so we're not gonna argue with you about it. It's fun. I mean, we make lighthearted of it and all that kind of stuff. But hey, the design process is tough, man.
Kudos to you.
It's tough. To all you designers out there. Kudos to you guys. It's a tough process. We know you guys go through some stuff, and I might side with the general contractors on occasion.
Me too,
You know.
actually. And that's why I think most of them like me.
Yeah.
Because
Well, yeah.
Like, oh, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
You know, so
way more trust
John
than
does.
GC.
Most of 'em?
Oh,
Or
yeah,
some of
most,
'em.
Most.
Some-
So John,
The ones that I work with, at least.
he does a lot of what do you call it? Also, custom houses.
Yes.
And you still do those, right? Because
Yes.
they're kind of like
Yeah.
they're good kind of money. I mean, it's kind of hard to say no to some of that, right?
It's very hard to say no.
So
but,
look,
you know.
if you
Yeah.
want a custom house next to your dental practice, because we all like to live close to where we work,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
contact John.
Even though it might not
Yeah.
be the best location, but
Yeah,
It could definitely be a
That's-
remodel too.
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
Yeah. and then if you need photos of that place, you can contact Albie Photos. What is
Albie Photos.
Oh yeah, that's the other
Another side
side
job.
hustle I have.
it?
Yeah.
Contact us. I'll give you his
Yeah,
stuff. You
contact
can look him
them.
up.
They'll
You
contact.
can
We'll
look
hook
him
you
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
yeah.
Well, if you have any questions, comments, just leave us a comment and we'll answer.
So full circle.
Full circle.
Choose 26 dental builders.
26L Dental Builders. Yes.
They have a Matterport.
Yep.
That helps coincide with
Design.
his design
Accurately.
accurately, and it trickles down to
The bidding process.
the bidding
and everything
process, the
down the line.
contractor,
general
and putting the
contractor,
general
yeah.
contractor putting everything together.
Yeah.
Full circle.
That's right. Thanks.
There it is.
Thanks for that. That's
Not
why
a
you've been here on. That's why you've been our continuing special guest.
You should be our mediator.
Yeah.
I know, right? All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody.